from WBAY TV. Coverage you can count on. Action 2 News this morning starts now.
Well, that is a sound you are going to start hearing again today.
That's because the Salvation Army is kicking off its annual Red Kettle Christmas campaign.
Coming up in about 9 minutes, Kristen Allen will join us live from the Salvation Army warehouse, talking to people who are involved in the campaign about how you can help them out this year. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Tammy Elliott.
I'm Kevin Rumpa.
And I'm Catherine Bracho. So those bell ringers, if they're outside, they better be bundled up today because it's 18 degrees right now, Steve, and it feels colder.
Yes, it feels colder. Our wind chills are in the single digits right now. We'll see a high of 25 this afternoon. That is well below average for this time of year. Skies will be generally partly cloudy. Here are the temperatures right now. We've got 16 in Appleton, 17 degrees in Shawano, and 11 in Anago, where at times the wind chills have been falling below zero. See what I mean? 2 below in Anago and in Wausau. Most of our wind chills in eastern Wisconsin are in the positive single digits. Fond du Lac's got 5. So here's Storm Center 2 pinpoint predictor. High temperatures today, low and mid 20s, but an average high for this date would be 44 degrees. So we're roughly 20 degrees colder than typical for this time of year. At 5:47, we'll talk about a cold trough of low pressure aloft and how that's affecting our weather. We've got milder temperatures returning by the time we get into Thursday, but then cold weather returns just in time for the deer hunt this weekend. We'll have details on that coming up. Catherine.
Steve, thanks. 5:31 this morning. People in Southern California who had to evacuate because of the Woolsey fire can now go back home. The fire department lifted the evacuation orders within the city of Los Angeles, but there's still a lot of cleanup to be done. Fire officials say the Woolsey fire burned more than 400 buildings and killed 2 people.
Embers hit certain houses. My old neighborhood, probably 8 out of 10 homes are lost. My old home is standing, but all the homes around have been lost.
In Northern California, the Camp wildfire in the town of Paradise is now the deadliest in California history. In a news conference last night, the Butte County Sheriff said 42 people have died in this wildfire. Crews found people dead in houses and in their cars. Now authorities are working to identify those people, and they're still looking for hundreds of people who are missing. Firefighters are still working to contain that Camp wildfire.
Wisconsin's First Lady says her husband, Governor Walker, is going to address the public soon. We haven't heard much from him since he lost last week's election, but yesterday, wife Tonette answering questions during a stop in Kimberly for an award presentation.
Going to be fine. The Walkers are going to be fine. You're going to hear from us soon. We're just figuring it all out, just like anybody that has to make a big move or a big change. We're just working it out. And he, you know, it's his. I want to tell, if you want to know exactly where he is, his father died 30 days ago, and he has not had much time to spend with his mother.
She says it's too early to say whether the governor will stay in politics, but says they do plan to stay in Wisconsin.
Governor-elect Tony Evers will still be the state's school superintendent until he becomes governor. Evers' spokesperson says Evers doesn't plan to resign from his position as state superintendent until he's sworn in as governor in January. And then Evers will have the power to appoint his replacement. If he resigned before that, Governor Walker could appoint the position, and the person who is appointed will hold that position until the next election for state superintendent in April of 2021, unless Evers calls for a special election.
Well, a public hearing is now going to be held tomorrow to talk about a tax incentive package to try to keep Kimberly-Clark in the Fox Valley. The Joint Committee on Finance originally was planning to talk about it today, but then releasing a statement saying it's going to happen tomorrow. Committee members talking about a $100 million tax package trying to convince Kimberly-Clark not to close its Neenah and Fox Crossing plants. State Assembly passing that bill earlier this year, but it did not make it to the Senate floor.
New this morning, the Red Cross says it needs people to give blood now to help them get out of a blood shortage. The Red Cross says it needs blood donors and people to host blood drives so people who need life-saving treatment won't have to wait. And those with the Red Cross tell us the organization needs about 75 blood drives throughout Wisconsin and Iowa so that the shortage doesn't continue through the winter. If you're interested in giving blood or hosting a blood drive, we have a link to that information on WBAY.com. 5:34 now. Donald Driver's charity softball game will be back for another year.
Yep, batter up. Timber Rattlers say the game's being played at Fox City Stadium on July 27th next year. Fans will also be getting a limited edition Donald Driver bobblehead. Ticket prices $12 up to $53. They'll go on sale 1 week from today.
The Fantastic Four, the Incredible Hulk, the Amazing Spider-Man. Just a few superheroes we have thanks to comic legend Stan Lee.
Well, coming up for you in this half hour, we're going to hear from people in our area remembering his legacy.
And the Salvation Army of Brown County's Christmas campaign kicks off today. We'll tell you all the ways that you can get involved coming up after the break.